to everyone who's cheering on Team Canada at the World Baseball Classic this weekend. The team's got, I think, a little tougher game against Panama this evening. So they're 7 o'clock tonight, and we wish them all the best. But yeah, Canada blew out Colombia yesterday, so that was nice to see. And we'll see how the game goes this evening. It's always depends on the pitcher too, so let's see how that goes. Anyway, want to focus on a few things that AI won't tell you about investing in real estate. I think they are the different AI platforms are great for gathering information initially, but getting into some of the nitty gritty, it's very difficult to collect all the data that you might need to put together an actual proposal or an actual game plan for how to move forward next. So King Will Find Homes, we are taking on a few different sets of investors. We've got an opportunity over the next few months to help people who are looking to build through the MLI Select program, people that are looking to build out multi-res and really upgrade their real estate portfolios. We focus on helping individuals and groups of investors to do that. Centralized in Guelph, but able to help people in Kitchener, Waterloo, Cambridge, Fergus, Elora, all that area. So certainly willing to help, and along the Huron coast too. So we've had a couple projects, a couple custom homes and that sort of stuff up at Port Elgin, Southampton, Saugeen Shores, if you will, that way, and in and around Tiverton, Kincardine area, all in support of the expansion at Bruce Power and the retrofit that's going on there right now. So certainly tons of opportunities, and we're putting it out there that we're actively engaging with clients to help them with their real estate portfolios. What that looks like, and it can be so for the MLI Select, and I think investors could be kicking themselves if they miss this opportunity, and I think you never know for sure, but June seems to be the month of when CMHC makes their changes, makes their announcements. So you have to be cognizant that June is quickly approaching. So any applications you want to get in advance of that. And then with municipalities, various cities and towns, they're going to have certain programs, but they're all dependent on the Accelerator fund. And as much as all these different cities want to help people build purpose-built rental, build housing, certainly with an affordable component, the money doesn't grow on trees, and tax bases are being stretched as it is. So they really want to take advantage of funds that are coming down from the federal government through the provincial government, all that stuff to really put forward strong applications and get some of the development charges waived, get some of the Accelerator fund rebates back. For example, City of Guelph, $25,000 in non-repayable grant money toward each affordable unit right now. But they said point blank, listen, the building permits have to be in this year. And they made no bones about it that, listen, if you want to move forward and get access to these funds, you need to get your applications in this year. Because once the money dries up from the federal government, they're no longer offering that. So everything's contingent on the different levels. So when we know that, and we're going in and saying, okay, here's what we can do. This is where AI falls a little short. They can give you the information on MLI Select because, again, there's tons of documents online that it can draw from. They can give you information on, overall what the Accelerator fund looks like. They can give you information overall as to what provincial legislation and policies, how it's trying to drive affordable housing. But when you get into the nitty-gritty of what each individual municipality is doing, it's very difficult for AI to, any of the platforms, to extrapolate exactly what monies are available to an investor, to a builder, to somebody who's looking to build out through MLI Select or whatever. Because there are differences. So again, we take advantage of MLI Select because we feel that it's the best bang for the buck. If you are building affordable units outside of that, the criteria actually differs a little bit. So that that can be of benefit to an investor to know those different rule differences. City of Guelph, for example, they're going to, for their affordability standard, they're going to lay it out for bachelor, single bedroom, 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom units. Whereas with MLI Select, it's here's the number, period. Doesn't matter if it's, a 6-bedroom, 4,000 square foot place or a bachelor apartment at 600 square feet. This is the maximum rent that you can charge. Also, municipalities have different numbers for units that are being sold. So again, organizations like Habitat for Humanity, of which King Will Find Homes is directly involved with some of the stuff in Centre Wellington and Guelph. So, we're very happy to be part of that, but they're taking advantage on the sales side. And that's not funding coming in from provincial or federal. They do get, as a charitable organization, they do have access to different programs, but they are looking to the municipality to offer little kickbacks and stuff like that. But AI has a very difficult time picking out what those programs look like. So what I'll say is you need to be talking to builders who focus on what you are after, focus on what you are looking to build, and make sure that they are aware of the programs that are available within the municipality. And it's key that they have regular dialogues with the different municipalities to make sure that, what's going on with parking requirements. Is there any leeway on that? What's going on with water and sanitary? Is there any issues in terms of putting in a permit right now with capacity for the municipality? So Kitchener-Waterloo, they've got some issues right now with water. So you have to be cognizant of that. And City of Guelph, anything, in their main downtown core, they're looking at ways to alleviate issues with parking. So, they're being a little more flexible right now in the hopes that they'll get more affordable units built if they relent a little bit on what parking requirements are. So again, just be aware that as you're moving forward, if you're strictly using an AI platform to do your research, you are going to be missing out on various details. You'll get an idea. You might be able to formulate a plan. But ultimately, you need to be talking to companies like ours, point blank, like King Will Find Homes, who can walk you through what building through some of these programs are going to look like. We're happy to help. Like I said, we've got a couple spots available. We are working with a few sets of investors right now, but based on our capacity, we would be able to take on a few additional clients for this year. And more than anything, that was a plan that we put together that we would make ourselves available to a few different sets of investors this year, simply because we don't want investors to finish the year and go, wow, I can't believe I missed out on some of the programs that were available even just a few months ago. So but we want to make sure that if anybody is interested in putting together a multifamily project, that they feel comfortable in reaching out to do so. Notes on that. So some of the lots, people are like, oh, I don't know that I'm going to be able to fit a 5 units or more to qualify for the MLI Select. No problem. If we can get 2 adjacent lots at, say, 2 triplexes each, that would actually qualify, because now you've got 6 units, and CMHC will allow for that. We've got one project that we're working with a set of investors. We've been working with them for a few years now, and the design of the project is a total of it's in excess of 120 units. And then there's a few individual lots on the exterior of the project. None of those individual lots would fit 5-plex, so none of them would qualify. But as a whole, you can still, for that project, use MLI Select, which is great. So again, just to touch on some of the real benefits of MLI Select right now, if you can get to 100 points, and I think, it's not difficult to think that you can. We work through spreadsheets and we'll say, hey, you know what, here's how you can generate 50 points, here's how you can get to 70 points, here's how you can get to 100 points, here's what the costs are going to be to do each of those, here's what you're going to give up if you have to reduce the rents to hit affordable targets and that sort of stuff. So we can walk people through and give them a pretty clear idea how to get to 100 points. But if you're doing MLI Select, right out of the gate, you have an insured product. Now, because you have an insured mortgage, your interest rate is going to be lower, and it opens up the doors to so many more lenders that will want to do this deal. Their risk is mitigated because of the insurance product. The underwriting may be a little more stringent. So again, they're going to ask for maybe some more stuff, but ultimately they're going to want to do that deal because the lender will feel protected. So you might save 1, 2, maybe 1.5% off of what your interest rate could be on a conventional mortgage. Loan to value. And this is, one of the things we talked about, recycling capital and redeploying the same funds repeatedly. One of the biggest things is, yes, you do need money up front, 100%. You can borrow against your principal residence, you can borrow against other rental properties, you can do that sort of stuff. But ultimately you do need to be able to write a check. And depending on the size of the project, it will depend on the size of the check. So as you come to the table and say, okay, I've got X number of dollars. Once you get through that construction phase and you're at the refinance phase, you can take up to 90% loan to value. If it is, less points, or up to 95% loan to value with once you hit 100 points. And to get there isn't always the easiest thing. So what they also added was that they're going to lower the requirement for the debt coverage ratio. So now all of a sudden, it's easier to qualify for more money based on all of that. Plus, with a lower interest rate, it's again easier to qualify. So that capital that you put in initially, now when you're refinancing and you're at the back end and you're taking up to say 90-95% of the loan to value, you're getting all your money back, and you can now go do the next project or buy a different building or do whatever. So it's such a great opportunity right now for those that want to be involved in ownership long term, to really get in and grow quickly. We're going to handle the building and project management side of things. We have people to help on the rental side of things, and making sure that the rents are taken care of, because it's not a passive investment. A lot of the stuff that we advocate for is more passive, whereas this is active. But you can hire away the stuff you don't want to do, which is great. And the only way to get to a large portfolio is to have a team that can help. You don't want to be worried about collecting rents every month, and what happens if the toilet starts to overflow at 3 o'clock in the morning. You don't want those phone calls, or you won't be able to expand your real estate portfolio. You have to have a team to help with that. So by having one multi-res building of 10, 20 units, that puts you in a great position to be able to afford to have the economies of scale, to have a property management team. So again, that's why we're big advocates of it. As you move forward and you look for ways to increase your portfolio, location will play a large role in that as well. So our investors, they're not just going and randomly choosing locations. These are well thought out locations that may not have been available 5 years ago, 10 years ago. These properties are coming up for sale because they don't necessarily fit the build and sell model anymore. These are builders who bought them. They're going to build a condo tower and sell off the individual units. And the math on that right now does not work. So all of the design and everything has been put together. I think I mentioned in a different video, we had a great example of this in Brampton, 1,280 units. And the builder, and I don't know the whole story, but ultimately they made the decision to partner with Skyline. And Skyline is assisting with raising capital for this builder, or in partnership with this builder. And they're going to build out these units as purpose-built rentals. And Skyline at the end may retain it. Skyline at the end may sell them off to other parties that want to have long-term rentals. But ultimately, this is a builder that purchased this land with the mindset that they were going to build and sell off the individual condo units. And just, again, the way the market has gone, the math doesn't work right now. So that's another great thing about the MLI Select program. How easy would it be to sell a multi-res property for top dollar when you are selling it at 90 or 95% loan to value? And you don't have to be the one to hold a vendor take back. There's so many situations where we're moving forward. We got price we want it. We're looking to sell, and ultimately the buyer came to us and said, "Hey, listen, we can't move forward unless we have some sort of vendor take back or seller take back mortgage." So to make sure the deal went through and got finished, we ended up holding paper, as you will, and now the product, because it's insured, because you built it through the MLI Select program, so it's an insured product, they can then transfer that. They're going to take on the ownership of that building, or maybe take on the ownership of the corporation that owns the building, and it's now an insured mortgage for them. So, isn't that a great way to maximize the value on the sale, is to already know what the financing aspect of it's going to look like from the beginning. So, you may not want to own rental properties or that particular building long term, or you want to get all of your money out and all the equity that you've generated out, and now all of a sudden you have a great opportunity to say, okay, here we're gonna sell this off. But when you're comparing apples to oranges, you're selling that building at an absolute premium, because you can do 95% or 90% financing depending on what target you hit with the MLI Select program. So that's a great bonus, and something that I think people just don't want to sleep on, because your opportunity may end up ending this year, and specifically watch for stuff to change in June. So again, it may not be the MLI Select program that ends, but a lot of the incentives that we want to take advantage of with different cities and towns, they may end. So just be aware of that. Anyway, hope you had a great weekend. Thanks for watching.